Welcome to Calling All Brides podcast. I'm your host, Joe Cirillo, with over 20 years experience in the wedding industry, from an owner of a wedding event rental company to a DJ and to a wedding videographer.
And I'm your host, DJ Michael Joye. I have, check this out, 30 years of being a DJ. Trust me, there's nothing I haven't seen or heard at a wedding.
All right, well, welcome into the Calling All Brides podcast. I'm your host, Joe Cirillo. Hope you're doing well. So many different things can occur on your wedding day. So today we're going to talk about everything to include in your wedding day emergency kit. You know, from the absolute essentials to the nice must-haves. So while you certainly don't want to, expect any emergencies on your wedding day, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Whether you are preparing for, a small beauty blunder or a fashion mishap, by having a wedding day emergency kit on hand for things like that, including accidental spills, cuts, snags, packing your wedding day emergency kit is an important task to cross off your to-do list before the big day arrives. So yes, that is what exactly we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about, what is a wedding day emergency kit. We're going to talk about an emergency wedding kit checklist. We're going to kind of dig a little bit deeper into the different things that you should have for your special day. So what exactly is a wedding day emergency kit? Well, a wedding day emergency kit is exactly what you think. It's a collection of toiletries and essentials to fix any problems that you might encounter on your big day, from a ripped hemline to an upset stomach or a broken earring. Not only will a bridal emergency kit help you fix small issues in a pinch, it'll give you peace of mind to know that you're prepared for anything that might come to you that day. An emergency kit will also ensure that your family and your wedding party don't have to run any last minute errands to get something, that you might have forgotten, or, like I said, some sort of emergency comes up. You're not going to have to run out and be, all against time in a time crush. And we all know how things are. You get all stressed out, and then you're going to be, upset. You might cry. Somebody's going to be, driving fast to the CVS down the road. We don't want them to get a speeding ticket or anything like that. And so if you have an emergency wedding kit, you're not going to have to worry about that extra stress and the things that come with that. So best case scenario, everything will go smoothly on your wedding day and you won't need to pull out a wedding emergency kit. But if anything does happen, you'll thank yourself for having the essentials ready to go ahead of time. So let's talk about a wedding emergency checklist. So choosing what to include in your wedding day emergency kit might feel overwhelming at first, but you can't predict every scenario that might happen on your wedding day, but it's helpful to talk it out with, your wedding planner or wedding coordinator, and they actually will probably have their own wedding day emergency kit if you do have a coordinator. But you can also talk to your maid of honor if you don't have a wedding planner or coordinator, and, walk through the day and consider the what if situations. What if my earring breaks? What if my dress, rips? What if my shoe gets scuffed? What if I forget X? What if I forget Y? Talking through these potential problems and identifying them, like spills, unwanted headaches, you just don't know what may occur that day. But if you're talking through them, you can identify them and you can go ahead and get those different items into your wedding emergency checklist. So I would say start out with a printable wedding emergency checklist. We're going to actually link one in the show notes for you. We've got the 43 essential days to pack in your wedding day emergency kit. I'll run through these really quick, and then we're going to deep dive into a few of them. But your toiletries, you're going to think of things like allergy medicine. You never know. Depending on the wedding month that you choose, it could be in the spring. If you're in the south, there's going to be lots of pollen. Other times of the year, if you pick a winter month, it's common for the common cold, and you might have a cough or a sore throat, something like that. So you might need some, extra, cold medicine, things like that. So just think medicine, think about yourself. What do you experience during the different seasons? And, if that particular season is your wedding date, just think about that. Antacids, guys, it's stressful on your wedding day. Stomachs love to give us problems when we're stressed out, for sure. So we definitely recommend having some antacids, some stomach-related medicine that might help you out there. Baby powder, guys, you're gonna be nervous, you're gonna be stressful, so you might need some extra baby powder. Band-aids, definitely something that you want to make sure that you have. It's easily to cut yourself. It never fails. I always end up cutting myself. Even your groom might be shaving that day and cuts his face. So you might need some sort of bandage or cream or something like that, or you might get a blister. So having a Band-Aid for that. Speaking of blisters, blister balm is great. Extra contacts or glasses on hand if you wear those. Cotton swabs. Deodorant, of course, like I said before, you're going to be sweaty, you're going to be nervous, so having some extra deodorant on hand, dry shampoo, a floss. Of course, you're going to be grabbing a bite to eat, throughout the day, so having some floss to make sure that you keep food out of your teeth. Hairspray, of course. You're probably going to have hair and makeup there to help you, but they're not going to be there during the entire day after they leave, so you might need some hairspray. Definitely some hand lotion, again, it kind of depends on the season, but your hands may get chapped and dry, so you need some lotion, some menstrual products, some pain reliever. Again, you never know, you might get that headache and you need a ibuprofen or something for that. A razor, like we said, you might, your groom may need an extra razor, you might need one. Sunscreen, that's definitely one to think about, especially if you've got a summer month for your wedding. You're going to be out in the sun taking pictures. If your ceremony's outside, you're going to be, in direct sunlight. So think sunscreen, especially if your skin's very fair. You want to have that available. Tissues, as much as you think you're probably not going to shed a tear, or you're trying not to shed a tear, at least until after the ceremony, but you probably are. So, have a tissue on hand. Toothbrush and toothpaste, of course, you're going to be interacting with folks all throughout the day, so you want to make sure that your breath is smelling good. And of course, tweezers. You never know when those are going to come in hand. Some touch-up items like bobby pins, some fashion tape, hairbrush or comb, hair ties, lip balm, makeup, mirror, nail clippers, nail polish and remover. Again, you're probably going to have your folks doing things for you, but you never know when you might need a touch-up or something. Perfume or cologne. Some miscellaneous things, breath mints. Like we said, you're gonna be talking to folks all throughout the day. You want that good smelling breath. I like this one here, bug spray. I've been to many weddings. Whether you're actually, we did one out in Hilton Head, and they've got kind of these annoying little bugs. So definitely having bug spray is going to be a big one. Some cash on hand. You never know when you might need to tip somebody, or might need cash for something, so that's a good one to keep on hand. A lint roller, definitely one I recommend for sure. You never know with dust or pet hair, things like that. A mini sewing kit, portable phone charger. Don't forget those phone chargers. You're probably going to be listening to music and streaming that through some Bluetooth speaker or something, getting pumped up for the day. But your phone's going to die. You're going to be taking a lot of pictures and video. You're going to be talking to folks. So have that phone charger, safety pins, scissors, snacks. We're going to dig into that one in just a moment. Stain remover, static guard, a steamer, super glue, and of course your wedding day timeline. So that is a good wedding checklist. We'll have that available for you in the show notes. But let's dig a little bit deeper into a few of these. Jewelry cleaner. Your jewelry should be in top shape for your wedding day, so make sure that you pack a cleaning kit for your jewelry. You're going to have pictures, video, all that kind of good stuff. They're going to be shooting close-ups of your rings, your friends, your family. They're all going to want to see that bling, so you want that bling to be sparkling. And to do that, you need some sort of jewelry cleaner, and especially one that's, that protects your diamonds and your precious metals. So make sure that you're paying attention to the jewelry cleaner that you do get. Our sewing kit, you never know when you're gonna have to stitch a minor rip or snag. So making sure you got a small sewing kit. You don't have to be a seamstress to make simple fixes to a wedding dress or a bridesmaid gown. Minor fashion mishaps can happen. So you'll be thankful that you have a needle and some thread on hand. We recommend buying a few spools of thread in colors that match your wedding dress and the bridal party's outfits to be safe. So you'll be what is that saying? Better be safe than sorry. So that is definitely one you want to include. Makeup for touch-ups. During the hair and makeup trial with your glam squad, determine what products you'll be wearing on the big day, so you can stock up on a few travel sizes of these pieces. Your makeup might shift throughout the ceremony and reception, but you'll be in good shape there. You never know what's going to happen with the weather. It could be raining, it could be 1,000,000 degrees if you're down here in the south in the summer. So having those touch-ups is going to be super important for you. Extra earrings. I know I mentioned that on the checklist, but you might not think about it. But you never know when something's going to break. So having those extra earrings, I would say having extra jewelry on hand. Any kind of jewelry that you intend to wear, having some extra ones on hand. You never know when a necklace is going to break. That clamp might break, a pearl might fall off. I had instances being a videographer where I've seen that jewelry issues happen, and then they don't have the jewelry to wear. So having some extra jewelry on hand definitely will be something that you want to pack. Now this one is an interesting one. Dress weights. So you may not think that they're a real thing, but yes, it is a must-have, a dress weight. So especially if you're having your vows outdoors in a windy climate, they are a product that you're going to wish you had had. They're either invisible, they're reusable, little discreet, stick on the interior of your skirt. Aside from the wedding dress, the weights come handy for your rehearsal, for your reception outfit, and of course your gown, even your bridesmaids' gowns. But if it ends up being a windy day, it will help keep those dresses down, and better for pictures, better during the ceremony itself. So you peel them, you stick them, and then you can get right back to what you're doing. So definitely recommend some dress weights. Check them out. Compact first aid kit. Whether you need to treat a blister like we talked about, or you need to sanitize in a pinch. First aid supplies are an absolute must for your wedding day emergency kit. I mentioned earlier I was going to talk snacks. Guys, you need to keep something on your stomach so that way you don't get sick, and a healthy snack is what I recommend. You definitely probably should eat breakfast, but having a protein bar or two can be helpful. Something with nutrients that are going to keep you going. Buy a couple extra to throw off to a couple of your vendors. You never know when they might be a little hungry as well. So definitely keeping some snacks around. Tweezers, like we talked about. You never know when you got a stray eyebrow hair that you need to take care of, or something like that. So tweezers do it all. So make sure you throw that in there. We talked a little bit about floss, so keeping that in there. Lip balm. Your lips are going to get dry probably because you're not going to be drinking as much water. So throw a couple extra in there for your wedding party for sure. Portable fabric steamer. It's a good idea to steam your wedding outfits in advance, but you want to also have a steamer in your wedding survival kit, just in case something goes wrong with some wrinkles on the morning of, whatever. You can take care of that. A lint roller, like we talked about. So yeah, those are just some of the major essentials that I would recommend making sure that you have in your emergency kit. All right, guys, let's talk about when you should pack the wedding day emergency kit. You don't want to do it the days leading up to your wedding, because the days leading up to your wedding are going to feel like a whirlwind of events. So you want to do it weeks ahead of time. So that way, when you're thinking about stuff, and you can sit down with your coordinator, your planner, your bridesmaid, you're going to be able to talk with a clear head about all the things that you should have in your wedding day survival kit. Now, once you've got your kit, who should hold your emergency kit? Well, don't worry about keeping track of your emergency kit yourself. You need to delegate this to somebody else. Whether it's your wedding coordinator, your wedding planner, or your bridesmaid, but you need to hand that off to somebody who is going to be there throughout your wedding day. Whether it's a best friend, a family member, but somebody who you trust and you know that they won't forget it at home. All right, guys. Well, I hope that you got some good information, and now that you are ready to get planning on that emergency wedding kit, so that way when something does arise, you don't have to be stressed out. You don't have to send somebody to the store, all that good stuff. You will be ready to handle anything that's thrown your way. Well, guys, it is the Calling All Brides podcast. I'm your host, Joe Cirillo. I hope that you got some good information out of our podcast today. I hope that you will give us a rating and review on your favorite podcast app. I hope you will check us out on all of our social media channels. We put a lot of content out there. We've got daily or weekly content that we put out there, ways to save money, all kinds of good things for your wedding day. So make sure you're checking out those social media channels. You can check us out, Calling All Brides Podcast on YouTube as well. You can visit our website at callingallbridespodcast.com. Or do you have a show idea? Do you have questions? You want us to answer something for you? Shoot us an email. It's callingallbridespodcast@gmail.com, and we'll be glad to answer your wedding day question. Guys, it is the Calling All Brides podcast, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Great episodes coming up, and we've got a whole lot more, so make sure you stay tuned to the Calling All Brides podcast.